Good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Great. Well, welcome to the In Quest of Better podcast, where we have conversations around how we can help agents have a better life and a better business. So, welcome. I wanted to showcase you today because you just recently made the move to EXP Realty. So, welcome to EXP.
That's correct. Thank you.
Awesome. So, why don't we kind of start with you telling us a little bit about your background. I know you started off kind of in the technical field, video editing, with some time at the Discovery Channel. Why don't you kind of tell us how that then brought you to the real estate industry?
Okay, sure. Well, when I started at Discovery, I didn't really know what I really wanted to do. It was like I have like a dual brain. I
Mhm.
like I like technical things and I like creative things at the same time. So being able to combine those two is what I discovered is something I really enjoy. So being a film editor, obviously there's the technical aspects of how to operate the computer, and you're doing that to invent or create a story, and that's the creative side of it. So that was kind of a godsend. And when I was in college, I decided I wanted to work for Discovery, and and somehow made that happen. So I was there for 12 years, and I started as a film editor, then was a technical manager managing the technical support team for the broadcast side of the post production. And finally, in my last 6 years, I was a project manager, um, working and overseeing the build out of video and audio rooms. So, managing the equipment, managing the people, working with our vendors to create those rooms. So, that gave me a little bit of an introduction to construction.
Mhm.
And at the time, I had a close friend who was flipping houses, and he was doing really well at it, and I really got turned on to doing something new. And again, that was combining the technical aspects of construction with the design and style of the house. So again, it was combining that technical and creative aspects.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I that resonates with me because I think when I came into the real estate business, I really didn't know what to expect.
Mhm.
But what I found and what I discovered was that, it kind of opened up a whole entrepreneurial side of me,
Mhm.
um, and a whole creative side as well. Because you're right, like, there is an aspect of storytelling in any business. You just, whether it's at the Discovery Channel telling the story of, animals or countries or nature, and with real estate, it's, I mean, I've been lucky to kind of showcase some homes with a lot of history. And so it's really kind of finding the stories that you can tell. And I find that extremely satisfying. So that resonates with me. And you get to wear a lot of hats too.
Yeah,
Something with construction, like flipping houses is, it's, you have to plan, you have to be strategic. There's a hands-on component, there's a managing people component, and then a marketing component. Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
so, so your time at Discovery, and then you went, and so you were in New Jersey when you started flipping, or was that when you were in
I
Washington?
was I was in Washington D.C. when I started flipping. I did two homes there. My first one I made a killing on, did very well. Second one, I actually lost a little bit of money, but if you factor both of those together, I was way ahead of the game.
Made out okay.
Yeah, made out okay. And again, I on the one that I lost some money on, it really was a work experience. I
Mhm.
just, I decided that I was going to just go for it with that one. And it's just interesting because I had an investor who needed to be paid back. So I had to sell the house. If I had kept the house, I would have made probably about $200,000 off of that in about 2 years just by holding on to it. So I really found a neighborhood that was like skyrocketing uh, appreciation. So that's sort of another aspect of the flipping business is being able to sniff out deals before they're even deals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's wherever that's true of wherever you're looking to
Mhm.
invest and flip. And I would say the past few years with the market and all the COVID crazy market that we've been experiencing, those deals have been really few and far between.
Mhm.
But that might be changing,
Mhm.
with the market shift.
Yep.
We'll see, what happens to the market in New Jersey. But so tell us about, because you are now in the beautiful state of Colorado.
Yes.
So when did you move there, and what drew you to Colorado?
I moved to Colorado 4 years ago, and what drew me here was actually a trip across country with my family when I was about 8,
Hmm.
and just fell in love with the West. Just I mean, as an 8-year-old boy, like, what's not to like? There's cowboys and there's mountains and there's skiing, and that always stuck with me. And I was, like, thinking, like, gee, I really would like to live out there, and had that notion for most of my life. And I turned 50 and decided, it's either do or die. So I decided to go for it when I turned 50 and moved out here. Was a ski instructor for a winter just to be, in the mountains and be a ski bum for a little while, take a little time off the career path. And now I'm excited to be going back into the career, as a sales agent. And yeah, so I really love it out here. The weather's great. I love the hiking and the skiing and being outdoors, camping.
Yeah, all of
Yep.
that speaks to me too. I envy that you had the guts to do it, and move out there, because
Mhm.
Colorado is a beautiful state, and I have a little place in my heart for the West as well.
Nice.
Having grown up in Texas and
Mhm.
spent a lot of time in Arizona and New Mexico,
Mhm.
so really something to be said for kind of being immersed in nature like that.
Sure.
So you are now in the Denver metro area, and so you joined a team, an EXP team there. Do you can you talk a little bit about like what drew you to getting your license and then to EXP?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm going to toot your horn a little bit because I decided I wanted to go into real estate, and to be successful, a lot of times you're going to follow what successful people do, and you kind of notice that. And I noticed that you switched from a brokerage, not to be named, but to EXP, and that piqued my interest. And as I dug a little deeper with you, as well as with other people who were with EXP, I decided that was really the best fit for me, being that it was a virtual company essentially, and an up and coming company. And the fact that they don't have brick and mortar offices and everything is virtual and money's going back into my pocket instead of going into a building made a lot of sense to me. When I moved out here and decided to go into real estate, I joined the Integrity Home Group team, which has really been great to have the support as far as a transaction coordinator and marketing and video, uh, which kind of taps into the creative side of the business, which I still enjoy. Um, so, but mostly being on team, I've got a team of people that can help buyers and sellers with a transaction instead of just myself. So that way I can focus more on the person, and, being a buyer or seller, I can focus more on the client and less on the detail that happens behind the scenes. I have a trusted team behind me that can take care of that.
Love it. Yeah, the collaboration is what it's all about. And I think,
Mhm.
when I started off as an agent 14 years ago, I was a solo agent, but over the course of a couple of years, I quickly saw where the industry was going, and where teams were going to be kind of the answer to bettering the industry, because it just makes more sense to work collaboratively, and you each do your part, you do what you're good at, and you stay in your zone, and the client gets served better that way.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, teams are definitely the way of the future. They're here now. They're here to stay. And I'm really glad that you found a team that you're happy with in Colorado. And so talk to us a little bit about the areas that you serve. So you're in the Denver metro area. Where do you live, and kind of what is going to be your geographic niche?
Well, I live in Niwot, a town called Niwot, which is 6 miles outside of Boulder, to the northeast, halfway between Boulder and Longmont. My territory is really going to be the Boulder market and the Denver metro area. I really love living where I live. It's just it's quiet and peaceful and has everything that I need. So I want to stay here, and I want to build relationships in this area. But also there's a lot of inventory down in the Denver metro area and a lot of opportunities for first-time home buyers. So I want to concentrate as well, sort of like Denver, but west of Denver by the foothills.
You mentioned there's a lot of development going on there.
Yes. Yeah,
And
there
that's
is.
that is happening.
Yeah, a lot of development, especially east of Denver, east and north of Denver by the airport. New construction, homes are being built and sold for about $400,000, $500,000, which is pretty low compared to the rest of the Denver metro area. So there's a lot of opportunity for first-time home buyers in those areas. People who are migrating from Texas, from California, are snatching up properties in those areas. So it's there's an influx of people coming into the Denver area that is just, the supply cannot keep up with the demand.
Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's kind of switch gears, because I know you mentioned the West, right? And being a lone ranger, but you're not a lone ranger anymore. You've got a sidekick, don't you?
I do. Yes, I do. I've got a, 16-week-old puppy named Yogi. He's a Labradoodle. And, honestly, he's been a godsend. Just a lot of fun to have a puppy around. He's a little crazy sometimes, but that's expected. He's a puppy. So
Here and there.
yep. So it's been a lot of fun having him.
Well, I love that you've incorporated him into your marketing. Because I think, like, in real estate, you have to be authentic and be yourself. And,
Sure.
and I feel like Yogi's such a big part of your life. So, maybe in the show notes, we can put a link to your Facebook page, and people can check out photos of Yogi and all the damage he's chewed through
Yeah.
at your house.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So you've always had a good heart, and I know that you've got a project that you're working on that's kind of near and dear to your heart, that you're doing in honor of your friend Craig. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Plunge for MS?
Sure. Yeah. I'm kicking off an annual event, which is Plunge for MS, and it's raising money for multiple sclerosis, as far as research goes. And we're expecting about 30 people to be either plunging or supporting the plunge on the day of the event. It'll be on January 1st, 23. And, it's a way to kick off the new year with a bang.
Yeah.
Going to shock a lot of people. As far as the cold water goes, its temperature is going to be about 30 to 32 degrees, and hopefully a warm day. But we'll see. But we're going to have people from the community coming out, checking out what we're doing. We're going to have plungers, and we're going to be raising money between now and then for MS. Our goal is, I want to keep our goal for the first year very doable. So we're trying to raise $2,500. We're over halfway there, and I'm sure in the next couple of weeks we'll beat our goal.
Awesome. Well, we'll put the link for that in the show notes as well. So good luck with that. And I hope you do a Facebook Live so I can join you from New Jersey.
That sounds good. That's a good idea.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I really wanted to just wish you the best of luck. I'm so happy that, you are one of us at EXP now, and we look forward to collaborating with you. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And we'll be sending any clients that we get, any referrals we get for Colorado to you, Jim.
Likewise. I would say likewise, but I don't think many people are moving from Colorado to New Jersey.
I know, unless it's a forced move, right?
Right, exactly, exactly.
Well, I will say New Jersey gets a bad rap because it really is the beautiful garden state after all.
That's
And,
true. Yes.
while I came here kicking and screaming, I love living here. And,
Yeah.
I've kind of become an ambassador for the state because it is beautiful. And you
Yep.
can't really see out my window now, but it's a beautiful fall day, and the leaves are changing, and it's a beautiful kind of northeastern fall day right now with all the
Yeah.
foliage.
No, I hear you. I don't mean to trash New Jersey. I'm a Jersey boy myself,
I
so
know, I know. And your mother still lives here, right?
yeah, she does. Yep.
She's over by in Wayne.
In Wayne.
Okay,
Yep.
very good. There's some
North
beautiful
Jersey.
communities up there.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Jim, thank you, and good luck with your new chapter. And we
Thank
look
you.
forward to following your success.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.